The tragic life of Henry VIII's sister. In a distant era, the Tudor dynasty emerged, bringing an end to the War of Roses. England had endured years of internal strife as the houses of York and Lancaster vied for the throne. The turning point came when Richard III fell in battle, paving the way for Henry Tudor to ascend as Henry VII, marking the inception of the notorious Tudor dynasty in English history. The Tudor reign witnessed significant transformations, including the execution of queens within the Tower of London, religious upheavals, and the influence of one man's infatuation at court. Mary, first known for burning numerous Protestants, contrasts sharply with the widely acclaimed Queen Elizabeth I, who triumphed over the Spanish Armada. The unification of England occurred through the marriage of Henry VII to Elizabeth of York. Despite their royal status, the couple faced profound losses, particularly concerning their offspring. The demise of their prominent son, Arthur, the Prince of Wales, and the forgotten tragedy of a 3-year-old princess at Eltham Palace underscore the sorrowful chapters in Tudor history. Born in Richmond Palace, later rebuilt as Sheen Palace by Henry VII, Elizabeth Tudor, the second daughter of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York, held promise in her early years. Royal marriages were strategic tools for alliance building, exemplified by Henry VII's match between Arthur and Catherine of Aragon. Elizabeth Tudor's story unfolds against the backdrop of Tudor England's intricate tapestry, revealing both celebrated triumphs and lesser-known tragedies. In the 16th century, Spain emerged as a formidable threat to England, evolving into one of the largest empires during the Age of Exploration. The strategic marriage of an English heir to a Spanish princess aimed at fostering peace between the two nations, envisioning a period of stability. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Tudor, it was anticipated, might have wedded a French or other European prince to safeguard England from potential invasions. However, this hopeful scenario never materialized. Growing up in the royal nursery at the royal court under the care of Cecily Burbage, her wet nurse, Elizabeth experienced a nurturing environment. 2 nurseries were established for Henry and Elizabeth's children, including Eltham Palace. Elizabeth of York, her mother, actively participated in their upbringing, dispelling any notion of distance. Tragedy struck on the 14th of September 1495, when Princess Elizabeth, the second daughter of the King and Queen, passed away at Eltham Palace in Kent. At the time, her parents were away at Sheen Palace, making her sudden demise particularly shocking. Princess Elizabeth's illness, initially believed to be recoverable, ultimately claimed her life. Her parents were not summoned, indicating the unexpected nature of her death. At the time of her passing, Elizabeth of York was carrying another daughter, intensifying the grief. The funeral arrangements undertaken by the royal household saw a grand procession and burial inside Westminster Abbey, specifically in Henry VII's Lady Chapel. Despite Henry VII's reputation for thriftiness, he allocated a substantial sum, around £318, for the funeral, a significant amount in today's terms. The King and Queen's absence at the funeral was customary for the time. Princess Elizabeth's tomb, a small marble chest with a black marble slab, was placed near the heart of Westminster Abbey, in front of the great shrine of Edward the Confessor. Over time, the inscription of her tomb has eroded, contributing to the loss of her memorial to the passage of time. The inscription on Princess Elizabeth's tomb reportedly conveyed that she was the second child of Henry VII, King of England, France and Ireland, and Queen Elizabeth. Born on the 2nd of July 1492, she departed on the 14th of September 1495. A plea for mercy upon her soul was included in the inscription. Another plate on the feet of her effigy bore a translated message lamenting the untimely death of the young and noble Elizabeth, the daughter of the illustrious Prince Henry VII. The severe messenger of death, Atropos, was said to have snatched her away, but the wish for eternal life in heaven was expressed. The year following Elizabeth's death saw the birth of her daughter, Mary, who later became known as Mary Tudor, the Queen of France. Sadly, the royal couple experienced the loss of their final 2 children, with Edmund passing away at around 15 months old in 1500, and Catherine dying shortly after birth in 1503. It is believed that Elizabeth of York, the Queen, also died shortly after childbirth with Catherine. Despite being a forgotten Tudor princess, Elizabeth Tudor's premature death left the royal family grieving for a potentially long and prosperous life that she may have led. The family had hoped that she would marry a European ruler to secure alliances, wealth and peace for England. Her brother Henry VIII would later become the notorious Tudor king with 6 wives, driven by the quest for a male heir. The king's pursuit of a male heir led to marriages, divorces and executions of his wives. Elizabeth, his sister, would have been a prominent princess and ally during his reign, but she unfortunately passed away at the age of 3.